Coming to you live here from Angul. Angul is a town, municipality, and a headquarters of Angul district in the state of Odisha, India. Angul has an average elevation of 195 meters above sea level. That's pretty tall. That's pretty big. We're here today with ESL Open Cup Asia, nope, that's the wrong way. Asia division and number 236. I am, of course, a fun fact: 2 times 3 equals 6. No, wait, 2. Yes, 2 times 3 equals 6. I am, of course, your host, Yaku of Zaku, and with me today we have El Cori de Cordero que hace pasta a toda prisa, Light _ VIP. How we doing, Light?
What's up, Yaku? Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our weekly dose of Korean StarCraft as we have returned with our first match of the night. If you're in the chat, predictions are open. And happy. We're just jumping on in.
Yeah, we're just going to be jumping on in. Very lot to choose from for our first round matches this week. A lot of players very excited to just jump in immediately, but thankfully we were able to hop on one of these series, which I think is looking pretty spicy. We're kicking it off here on Amphion. We're over here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom left. We have our red Zerg player coming down from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be representing Gaimin Gladiators. He do be gaming. We have SHIN.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Blacklist International. It is Creator.
Okay.
Here we go. So as you mentioned, the bracket is pretty stacked, and we can delve into the bracket at a later time once we wrap up with this series. But yeah, I think the most important thing right now, though, is I believe at the moment these ESL weeklies do not actually award EPT points. EPT points has closed, so we've kind of maxed out on how much we can get. So we have finalized the standings. I think we even saw the bracket or the group stage announced recently.
Have been released. Yeah, can confirm. Yeah, everything is all set and done. The next season of the ESL Pro Tour, or the Road to the Esports World Cup, what is it called now officially? It's like, is it Road to the World Cup, or is it still ESL Pro Tour? I'm gonna have to double check that later down the line. But yeah, anyway, the next season for the World Championship, with whatever it's called, hasn't begun yet, so everything's been finalized. No points are going to be distributed whatsoever, but it's still a little bit of money on the line. You know, the top 2 still do get paid off, and of course, we do have quite a lot of... There is a lot of practice to be had here in this ESL Open Cups. It's a little bit more of a... I don't want to say formal setting, but it's a bit more of a... It's a best of. You get more best of series instead of just best of one. Instead of just best of ones on ladder or custom games.
Yes, exactly. I mean, obviously there's money on the line as well. There's that prize money, which is quite hefty here for the ESL Open Cups. But from what I've been gathering, especially watching Classic, for example, these past couple of weeks, is that it does feel like players right now are refining builds. They're like refining builds, they're refining their play. They're really getting ready and securing themselves for the Esports World Cup, because again, that is the biggest event of the year, and there's lots of prize money on the line for EWC.
Oh yeah. I think somebody actually did the math, and per person, it's for the first time in a very long time, I think the per player payouts here at Esports World Cup is actually higher than the MOBA tournaments. Obviously they have an overall larger prize pool, but again, per player, it's the distribution is a little bit different.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is quite different and quite intense. So wish them all the best of luck in the upcoming month of StarCraft, as I believe it's going to be next month. So it's really kind of sneaking up on us quite quickly here, and yeah, we'll see kind of the form of our players as do come into it. For the time being, we do have pretty standard openers. It was a Stargate opener from Creator getting to a 3rd base. Likewise, SHIN did actually mine through these middle patches and is taking the expansion on the left-hand side. Interesting base location from SHIN. It's going to be quite secure, and we'll see if Creator can try to punish it For now, just coming in with the Oracle and looking some drone kills. Oh.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get a couple, but unfortunately for him, the Oracle is going to be chased away. This is a little bit more of a more secure location to get your third base, but I have to wonder how much that is mitigated when you're playing against a Protoss opponent, because obviously, aside from these Oracles, you also have Blink potential, you have quite a lot.
Yeah.
There are ways for Protoss to traverse the mineral wall.
There are ways. So for the time being, we do see that we do have our Adepts and our initial Oracle going to be threatening a shade here. We still have yet to mine through those middle patches, but we are threatening the third base nonetheless. From here, we do see Creator just getting into the rest of his setup. We have a Twilight Council Forge follow-up, additional Oracles as well. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy here from Creator, not yet.
Yeah, everything's looking very typical for a Protoss player in the PvZ right now. Forge +1 and Blink is on the way, so pretty soon we're going to be seeing Creator gearing up for one of two things, either a bit of a timing attack with these Stalkers, or he's going to hang back a little while and wait until he can actually get his Templar Archives and Archon production on the run.
Yeah, we shall see, as for now it is going to be that plus on Blink. The Oracles, they've gotten some damage done so far, just 2 drone kills, nothing too major. Shin has been able to keep up with the Oracles, has minimized losses for the time being, but Creator is still kind of ramping up here with his own army, with his own timing, and also SARS potential with these Oracles.
Yeah, he's actually getting quite a lot done with them. So far, he's taken out, okay, not that many drones, but 15 links have been shaved off. He's been able to clean up a lot of creep tumors. And of course, it's keeping Shin on his side of the map, which is the most important thing that these Oracles can do right now in this stage of a PvZ.
Yeah, exactly, as we do see the Oracle still gaining value, picking off a Ling after Ling. Likewise, Shin is going to be embracing a more Roach-heavy style. I mean, Roaches initially, but the Hydra has been thrown down, so we're thinking of a Hydra tech and of Lurker tech already. It's going to be on the horizon for Shin. We have seen some players try to embrace Mutas on this map, and Mutas can be quite effective, but we can see that Shin, he's avoiding that for the time being.
Yeah, and I can't say I blame him, especially against a player like Creator, who is known for being able to just really shut down harass like Mutas. Just really good positional awareness in the PvC matchup.
Oh yeah, has been quite well for himself, especially positionally, as you were saying, and we do see Shin keeping up so far with the initial Stalker aggression. Creator, he's expanding. He's just taking up 4th base, and he's taking up as well. That's going to be a 2nd robot. That's going to be a Bay. Creator, he's just building up and ramping up towards the mid-game here, just applying some light pressure, but nothing too major. Both players just kind of gearing up towards a longer game.
Yeah, we're just going to be chilling for a little while until we get to our next stage, which is going to be approaching pretty rapidly as the Infestation Pit is about to finish up here for Shin. Creator, okay, I'm kind of disappointed in myself, Light, for forgetting about this, but yeah, I was kind of expecting Creator to go for a Templar Archives to start getting into his Archon and High Templar production and Storms, but yeah, it kind of slipped my mind that Creator is in fact a Robo Boy. He's been very known for preferring Disruptors in all 3 matchups. Disruptors and Colossus.
Yeah. When it comes to Creator's playstyle in general, I always kind of attribute him to almost like the Korean Showtime. Not quite Showtime-esque, but the closest you can get in Korea, where he's just very macro-oriented, especially in PvZ in this matchup. And you can see that that's where we're headed. We're taking up into Colossus, Disruptors, but the first army has right. We're going straight for the 4th base, and we zone Creator out of his own base.
Yeah, this base is going to have to be forfeit at this point. Stasis Wards, unfortunately, did not quite get enough units in Stasis. So Creator will be feeling that pretty hefty loss. Disruptor and Colossus pops out, but a little too late.
Yeah, exactly, as you do see, Nova going to be going off. Nice force field, does catch some of these Hydras and Roaches, not bad. But as you mentioned, 4th base. 4th base did go down with that. Creator is going to be contained to 3 bases that much longer. Shin, he's taking up. We are not just droning, not just taking another base, we are getting into Hive Tech.
Oh yeah, Shin, he wants those Lurker upgrades. As soon as he can get them.
Oh yeah, as Creator's working towards, this robust Robo army, Shin likewise rushing into Hydra, Lurker, Viper, as Vipers are also going to be coming into play to help deal with those Disruptors and those Colossus. But it looks like before the Vipers can really pop out, Creator may have a bit of a window where he can push in.
Yeah, and he's looking to. He's been able to get out his disruptors. He's been able to get one Colossus over here. So he's got a very potent army at this stage of the game. In fact, his army is larger than Shin's, which is terrifying to think about from the point of view of a Zerg player in a ZvP.
Oh yeah, this is a terrifying Protoss army, but we're pushing into a concave of lurkers. Only 4 lurkers, not that many to be honest, so we'll see if we can break through. The first disruptor is going to be sniped.
Up. Like so, nicely done. That poor lurker. It was undetected, but it was also under a whole bunch of roaches, so yeah, it ended up going down anyway in those Purification Novas, so yeah, not too many lurkers for Shin to really work with, and they are still vanilla lurkers for the time being. He's about to get Size 6 Spines though, and that's gonna make him have a much more effective defense with them.
Yeah, but how many lurkers will we have left? Another lurker gets sniped. Nova going to be going up and does shave off more of these roaches. Creator is gaining ground across the map. The league round by was cleaned up. Creator is safe and sound. And we can see that Shin, he's up against the wall right now, morphing in as many lurkers as he can. He's up to 6 lurkers now, and we'll see if he can hold on.
Yeah, these revelations are going to come in just in time. That pathing on those stalkers is a little bit awkward, not gonna lie, but Purification Novas are able to land on a bunch of roaches. Lings are starting to really gain ground though, and they are getting on top of disruptors. Creator has been nailing these Novas over and over and over again, but now Shin's looking to break 3. Nope! The Immortals come back and they do secure the foothold here for Creator.
Yeah, the reinforcements have arrived. It looks like Creator had them back at home just to defend against the lane run bys. Now they've been dealt with. We can focus on the main push, and Shin, he's not out of the woods yet. Has been bleeding out lurker after lurker, down to 5 lurkers.
Yeah, but they are undetected for now. The Blinding Cloud going to be helping out a ton. Lurkers are able to get more volleys, and the yoinks on top of these robo units is absolutely massive here for Shin. We see a huge fall in the army supply of Creator.
Yeah, I mean, that was brutal looking at the trades here. Creator, he lost his Colossus, he lost 4 Disruptors, lost the Immortals as well, and now he has to back off. Without those power units, without those Robo Boys, we just cannot hold our own, and Shin, he holds.
Yeah, now things are starting to really get worrisome for Creator because he traded decently up until the end there, but the economy of Shin has still gone completely untouched. Now he even has his hybrid base, and we can see that reflected in the supplies right now. Shin is pretty close to maxing out, but Creator is far from it.
Exactly. Shin, he weathered the storm, and now he's ready to turn the tables here on a Creator. Once this Prism is dealt with, and we have Vipers to Parasitic Bomb or even Abduct, then we can start moving out across the map. And back at him, Creator, he's just not ready, not anymore. He needs more time to at least build up the Immortals.
Poor Prism. Kite it directly into a queen, and regardless, it was getting Parabomb down. And that is popping up in the main base of Creator, and there's nothing in position to defend.
Yeah, Storm is on the way, but it might even be denied here as the lurkers. They do get within range. They do burrow here on top of the production, and the Temple Archives is going to be focused down.
No! So close! So close, but no cigar. Yeah, this is looking unstoppable right now for Shin. He has the high ground. He has so many lurkers burrowed on top of his choke point. Immortals is starting to fall, and once they're gone, the rest of the Protoss army is just easy pickings. GG is called, and Shin continue game number 1.
GG, well played, Shin. Snowballing out of control towards the end there, but what I will say is that was not an easy game by Shin whatsoever. Things came down to the wire, I should say, and did barely hold on, and after the hold, that's when Shin got into his final form. Yeah,
it really was. Although, commendable to Shin as well, though. It was a very tight hold coming from him. It was a very desperate defense coming out, but while all that was going on, he was still expanding. He was still going to get that hybrid base.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so okay. Okay, we're good. Yeah. Very. Where was I? Basically, what I'm trying to get at is a little bit of tunnel vision coming out here from Creator in that push. You know, he was focusing a lot on that push, which, understandably, that was probably his best path to victory there, was if he was able to break Shin then and there, and then proceed and continue to roll through him. But after a certain point, it did really feel like he was hanging back a little too long. He wasn't being as aggressive as he could have been. And SHIN was well aware of that. He knew that Creator was just focusing entirely on that position, so he expanded elsewhere.
Oh yeah, now here we go. We're getting his game number 2 and spawning in the top right-hand corner, leading the series 1-0. We have our South Korean Zurich player representing Gaimin Gladiators. It is SHIN.
And over here in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top left, we of course have our blue Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea. He's going to be representing Blacklist International VLI. Yeah, this worked very well. We have Creator.
Okay. And yeah, when it came to that last game, I mean, Creator, he was doing well for himself. He was gaining ground. He was picking up lurkers. But as kind of you were alluding to, unfortunately, like, as time was going on, like, we were on a bit of a timer, right? By the time the Vipers arrived, that's when things very quickly swung in favor of SHIN, where now he had an answer to snipe those Colossus and snipe the Immortals and the Disruptors, where he could abduct and shut them down. So it did feel like either Creator overstayed his welcome, or, you know, he missed his timing, right? Like, he missed his, like...
or both.
Yeah, where he missed the window where he could kill his opponent, and once we realize that that window has come and gone, that we have to like back off and retreat a little bit and respect the Vipers, you know?
Yeah. Never want to underestimate them, especially when you don't have High Templar feedback, you know?
Yeah, it did feel like that High Templar transition was just a little too late for Creator, but now we're getting and settling into game number 2 into a much different map, a much smaller map.
Yeah, a map that we've seen a lot of PvZs on. And I feel like I have brain rot at this point, because every time I see a PvZ on Ghost River, I'm following a probe because I expect it to throw down a gateway in the middle of the map. I have that hero brain rot.
Yeah. I don't blame you. You know, we have experienced a lot of hero on this map. True. I think what's interesting is that you feel that even though we haven't casted hero in a while, because because he has been intentionally not playing in tournaments in the lead up to EWC, but like he's left an impression.
Oh yeah. You can feel that something is off in ESL Open Cup even before you realize what it is.
There you go. We're missing that hero, and we don't quite go for the proxy in the center of the map, but Creator is not opening up Stargate.
Interesting. So there's a Twilight Council first coming out from Creator. And this can go multiple ways right now. We're gonna wait to see. We're going to look at the production tab to keep our eyes peeled on how many more gateways we see, and potentially if we see a forge as well. Because this is either going to be Glaives, or it's going to be Blink. Or it's going to be DTs!
Oh, let's go! It is going to be a Dark Shrine opener here out of Creator, porque no los dos, so why not just embrace the chaos here on Ghost River. Now, with the DT opener, this can end the game. It can catch a Zerg player off guard, and it can also nicely follow up here, of course, with an Archon drop follow-up as well. So Creator has layers to this aggression, and it's on SHIN to figure out what the hell is going on.
Indeed it is. SHIN, on the other hand, going to be opting for a bit of an earlier safety Roach Warren, which is a pretty good unit, especially against Archons if we do eventually transition there. But yeah, he hasn't quite gone into the main base of Creator. He doesn't really know what's coming his way.
Yeah, but
thankfully he does have a couple of safety spores.
Yeah, he's playing out very safely. He doesn't know exactly what's going on, but as you mentioned, we have spores ready for DTs, we have the Roach Warren ready for Adepts, so whether it's Glaive Adepts or Dark Templar, SHIN, he's just covering his bases, he's not taking any chances.
Except no. I try to find the one like weak spot of SHIN right now, and yeah, that's not really an obvious one to be found. I mean, maybe if he's a little bit slow on body blocking, you know, Creator could take out a spore crawler with his DTs, but yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, the Queen's are positioned, the Lings are ready as well, the DTs are fended off, and SHIN does defend. But as we mentioned, it isn't just about the Dark Templar getting damage done. They can always morph into Archons, but SHIN, he is on top of them. Again, if there's ever an Archon morph, he is ready to try and deny them. Alas, one Archon being morphed in, and soon we'll have the second.
Yeah, I really like this move here from Creator, where he only almost one Archon in at a time. That way he still has DTs to protect.
Yeah, just really safe play there at a Creator. Really nice moves. Does come with the Archons. It looks like he will catch an Overlord. No transfuse available. So nice little pick off to kick things off. And we can also gain more value. Pick off Lings, maybe drones. Creator as he's getting ready for that next step.
Yeah, Immortal's on the way. We're transitioning into Charge that Archon with Immortal support. Very potent build here, a very potent unit composition in PvZ, particularly when you're up against roaches and when you're up against lings.
Oh yeah, we are getting into that kind of next wave, into that next step for Creator. Still just shaving off Lings here and there, still just trading as best he can. Roaches are in position though, and SHIN will protect his third base at least. Behind this, Baliness is on the way, so SHIN is building up towards Lingbane Roach Ravager, a pretty robust army composition, and SHIN is droning. I was keeping an eye on SHIN to see if he would try to like go for some kind of 3-base all-in or anything like that, but SHIN is working on upgrades and building up.
Like so. Yeah, kind of surprised that SHIN, who kind of has a reputation for being a bit of a trickier player, is gonna hang back and macro up on a map that really really lends itself really well to rush play. But yeah, I guess that's SHIN for you, right? He always keeps us guessing.
Yeah, it keeps you on his toes, on your toes, Pat. On his toes, even. Whose toes?
He tiptoes.
Yeah. So he is just building up towards that. Meanwhile, Archon drop once again heading towards the natural base. When it comes to Creator, I believe we have a bit of a gateway explosion. Yes, we are getting up to 8 gateways on 3 bases. No 4th base yet. I would expect to see a 4th base by now, which means Creator is building up towards what looks to be a push with Immortals, Sentries, Charge Dots, and our Archons.
Oh yeah. I'll see how effective this is going to be for Creator. You know, he really impressed us, I think, in the previous game with his force field play, and I think in general Creator has one of the best. Again, Creator doesn't necessarily have the best control out of the Protoss players, but he definitely has really good positioning, and he really knows how to manipulate the map to his advantage. It's a little bit trickier though when your army composition is going to be comprised mostly of Archons that can break force fields and Zealots, which are hindered by force fields.
Yeah, you have to be very careful with how you maneuver the army, as you did mention. SHIN is ready for a Baleen counterattack, but at the same time, Creator, he is pretty committed and pretty all-in with this. As we said, no 4th base, right? It's just a 3-base all-in here by Creator, very committed. SHIN, he checks for the 4th, and he's going straight for the mineral line. Up!
And now Creator is even... actually... He is even more all-in, but definitely could have been worse. That was a pretty good force field block there from Creator. And now we'll see if his push can actually break SHIN right now.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're warping in 6 Zealots at a time. We have 8 gateways up and running. The Immortals nice spread here so far by Creator, and he's pushing in even further. Meanwhile, across the map, 11 more probes went down. He lost all the workers at the mineral line.
Oh, where we're going, we don't need no probes. Banelings are starting to fall to the Archons. Force fields once again going to be pushing all of these roaches into a corner. Creator is fighting into a bit of a concave, but he still has a very beefy army behind all of this. And with the Zealot reinforcements being warped in, it looks like he is barely going to be breaking through.
Yeah,
sometimes barely is enough.
Exactly, as we only have Ravagers, no Lings remaining, no Ling Bane, barely any Roaches whatsoever. It looks like Creator has done it. He's broken through the defensive line. The drones have gone down, the base has gone down, and as I say that, reinforcements are on the way. If SHIN can buy a little bit more time for an extra wave of Roaches, he can hold.
Yeah, if he doesn't lose the standing army and he can regroup them with his reinforcements, he's going to be fine. Here comes the surround of Roaches. No Zealots to buffer for the Immortals yet. Warpin does come into play, and it's going to be chasing this little Roach force into a corner.
Yeah, this is our army. We're down to 1 Immortal. 1 Immortal, a couple of Zealots. More Zealots are on the way, though. It looks like with the tide of Zealots, it looks like we have enough to overwhelm the reinforcements of SHIN. It looks like this base is going to be going down.
Yeah, losing those 11 workers or killing those 11 workers was not going to be enough here. GG is called. Creator going to be taking game number 2 with a very potent 3-base all-in.
Whew, GG, well played. A very, very close game there, and in the end it went down to the wire. Whew, Creator was completely all in, but barely had enough to break through and kill SHIN. Towards the end there, he had one immortal left, one immortal standing, and of course, the Zealots.
Oh yeah, it was all about those Zealots in the end there. Charge lots, they do pretty well against Roaches, especially Roaches in low numbers, especially if you can get a surround on top of them. And Creator did lose a lot of his workers initially before that fight began, but he didn't lose enough, or he kept enough of his workers alive that he was still able to warp in 6 Zealots at a time. Every time those gateways refreshed, he was able to just get another round in because he was still mining enough.
Yeah, he was still able to maintain at least Zealot reinforcements, and hey, it's just minerals, you know, it's just minerals there for Creator. He could still sustain himself, still sustain the all-in, and with that, we're going all the way to the ace match.
Here we go. This is what we wanted. This is what I think most of us expected as well, and so I'm glad that nobody's going to be leaving here in this series disappointed. Speaking of which, we're going to be concluding it now on Dynasty. I'm liking it. I'm liking that we've played out all 3 maps, and none of them are Oceanborn, Sight Delta, Golden Aura, or Elkione. I appreciate that. Thanks, guys. Here we have in the top right-hand corner of the map, swinging all the way in the top right, we have our red Zerg player coming out from the land of Korea. He is, of course, going to be representing that team, Gaimin Gladiators. He do be gaming. We have SHIN.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Blacklist International. It is a Creator.
SHIN now doing Zerg things on Dynasty.
Yeah, we do dip in. We do confirm, of course, that we are taking the goal base on the other side. This is the most kind of standard thing. Oh, we're kind of rushing. I was going to say, this is the most standard build we've seen on Dynasty. This has been the go-to. Basically, whenever we see a ZvP on Dynasty, it's the setup for an all-in. You know, you take the goal base here on this side of the map, so you can take advantage of the gold minerals, of the rich testing gas geyser, and go for a roach all-in. But Creator, he's here to punish this.
Yeah, well, he's going to try to, as we do have drones now being main arted over. One good surround is all it really takes to shut down this cannon rush.
Yes, the drones have arrived, and they're going to try and delay the cannon for as long as possible. Cannon has been thrown down, and now the spawning pool is still not yet done. This base is going to be under fire as cannons are on the way. Oh.
That they are, but we'll see if they can actually get up and running. Nice little bit of mineral walking here from Creator, and now the Zealot is here to chase away the drones. Is it going to be enough?
Is it going to be enough here as we do get a surround? The Zealot is going to get surrounded. It's going to get shut down. One drone will fall. Cannon is going to be finishing up, but the Lynx have arrived just in time to shut that cannon down.
Yeah. Its cannon rush has not paid off for Creator at all.
Yeah, we denied mining time, that is true, but there won't be any cannons. The base will get up and running, and this has delayed everything else. It delayed the expansion, delayed the cybercore, delayed all the tech, and as you mentioned, this was not quite worth it for Creator.
Not at all. And where do we go from here as a Protoss player? Because Creator definitely giving up map control. He's going to have to hang back and just kind of turtle up until he has a decent army out in the map. Thankfully, we are on Dynasty, so obviously Creator does have that pocket base that he can take advantage of. But we also know that SHIN is going to be just zooming forward in terms of his tech. He's going to hit all of his tech milestones much, much quicker than Creator will.
Yeah, SHIN, he's going to skyrocket ahead here with this base, with the gas income, with the mineral income as well, and it doesn't bode well for Creator just because of how late his tech structure is going to be. I'm referring specifically to the Stargate or the Twilight Council, you know, whichever we go for, was heavily delayed here, and as a result, SHIN is going to be that much more comfortable. We're taking a third base, we're droning up, and I'm waiting to see what SHIN decides to go for. Do we go for a fast lair? Do we go for a fast roach warren? I'm curious, as the timing's going to be a little bit off here after the early game.
Yeah, we'll keep our eyes on that production tab. That's a Roach Horn popping out, so most likely it is going to be a little bit of a cheeky Roach push, but I'm not going to lie, like, he took the Rich Vespine gas, he's taken another gas in his main. I'm holding out for Mutas.
So as soon as you mentioned the gas, I was like, oh, he wants the Mota, man. He wants the Mota. I mean, I don't blame you. But Roaches should be on the horizon here for Shin. We'll see if we go for a hash-based all-in or if we go for something a little bit different. I would have expected to have seen a lair by now, but there is still no lair from Shin. So there we go. He's just producing as many Roaches as he can. Ling's already moving out across the map, trying to get a read on what's going on, trying to get a feel for what the setup is looking like for Creator. Oh!
And he will confirm that Creator is playing very defensively. It's a little bit of a risk sending your sentries and stalker out in the middle of the map this much. There's a little bit of a risk of getting surrounded by these Lings, but Creator, yeah, is on top of things, does retreat, and doesn't lose anything yet.
Yes, and there is a lair now on the way for Creator, so sorry, for Shin, so it is working towards a lair that's going to be for Roach Speed, that could even be for Overlord Speed and something like a bit of a German taxi. I say that, but still no Overlord Speed even being researched here by Shin, so it looks like he's just committing to Ling Roach Ravager.
Yeah, pretty standard stuff coming out from Shin, and probably the best response after the openings that we've gotten. Shin, he's well aware that Creator is behind. He knows that if he gives Creator enough time to come back in this game, he would kind of be giving up his early game advantage. So he might as well go for a timing out like this while Creator's at his weakest.
Yeah, so we got the Ravagers have either going to be piling down the first cannon. Cannon does go down, and we have more Roaches on the way. Shin is committing here to the push. Alas, the SimCity working against him here, so Creator's going to be able to hold the line, but the tech is exposed.
Yeah, tech is very exposed. Gateways go down, so less production. Cybercore goes down, so no more Stalkers are going to be able to be warped in.
Yeah, and with other boys that being pulled, the Artosis Pylon standing strong here. Plus one about to finish in 10 seconds with the Lings that keep flooding in. And it looks like with the overcharge, we can barely hold on.
Just barely. Lings are going to be slipping into the main base, though, and Creator's going to be losing even more of his workers.
It's going to be 10 probes going down. The gold base is getting up and running. Shin does confirm the gold, and now he can respond with his Roach Ravager to deny any kind of mining here to shut down this base, and still flooding more Ling Roach across the map. Shin did saturate his natural, so we're at 2 base saturation. We do have the lair, we have Roach Speed on the way, but Shin can now focus on his army.
Like so. Yeah, this gold base is not going to be utilized for quite some time.
Yeah, the Ravagers are here. They're going to be laying siege upon the Nexus itself with those biles. At the same time, we can see that Creator's going to be rotating over to try and deal with this, but the army's ready for him.
Yeah, and this is exactly where Shin wants to fight. In the middle of the map where there are no shield batteries. It's a little bit of a bait, and the unfortunate thing for Creator right now is that he just doesn't have enough of an army to split up his forces to defend this gold base and his natural base at the same time.
Exactly. We'll rotate around, and now he's going to be able to defend the gold, but it is so very low here. Another wave or two of biles is going to be enough to bring it down, and as Shin sees the army positioning, we just ignore it. We just rotate over instead towards that natural. We even force the overcharge.
Yeah, and that might have been a little misguided, as now there's no overcharge available in this natural base. The buildings were not rebuilt, the SimCity is not here to help out, and Shin is overwhelming.
Yeah, that overcharge bait was just a little bit too brutal. Likewise, Stalkers, they just got here in time after the initial army has crumbled, and now Shin is going for the kill, he's going for the third. Stalkers, they're microing their hearts out, but again, without a shield battery, without any site defense, how can we hold?
We can pull the boys.
True.
Boys have been pulled, but boys have been killed as well, so...
yeah,
Creator might be able to hold against this push, but his economy is in the gutter.
Yeah.
He's alive, but he's not thriving.
Exactly, and at the same time, we still deny any kind of mining time here at the gold base, so Creator, he's on 1 base economy. We can see the army rotating around. Creator is going to force this back. I mean, hey, +2 is about to kick in for these Stalkers. The Stalkers themselves can hold on. They can definitely maintain themselves, but Creator is pretty all in.
I want to believe in the control.
The control can be good, but can it be that good? As SHIN, he's backing off, he's just rebuilding, remaxing. You can see that SHIN is not droning up, still on 47 workers. That's all he does need, especially with the goal base, with the restressing gas guys. Are like, we don't really need that many workers to sustain an all-in, and SHIN is getting ready for the next wave.
Like so, and yeah, once again, Creator is just weaker than he was during the last push. Sure, he's got +2 now, but he's got no shield batteries, he's got fewer production buildings, he has less of an income to continue warping in reinforcements. It's looking rough.
Yeah, and with this push, with this army SHIN, he can actually go for the Nexus itself. It's still very low from earlier. The Wilds, they will be connecting, and the base is getting so low. At the same time, he hits that mineral line as well, does distract at the third base, and with the Wilds, the base, it's gonna fall. Oh my god, barely survives.
What is it about shield battery in this base? Yeah, barely survives thanks to the battery overcharge, but yeah, not gonna be alive for maybe it lives. I mean, there's no mining, so can it really be considered alive?
Yeah, as the overcharge runs out, we do have the army rotating around, trying to just shut down this force of SHIN. But one more wave of Biles, it's going to be enough. The Nexus finally goes down.
And with that, a Creator whose economy already was down for the who was already crippled economically is just even. What's a level above that? Dead.
It's looking a little bit bleak here for Creator, because even though he may clean up this army and he's microing well with these stalkers, he's trading as efficiently as possible, the reality is that behind this he just cannot sustain himself anymore. He cannot keep up with these losses, as SHIN can just back off, take another, or just back off and rebuild as he has another base up and running.
Yeah, it's how the old saying goes, right? You can beat the army, but you can't beat math.
Who says that? Is that another Dennis quote?
It's a thing.
It's GG gets called, and SHIN will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round.
GG. Nicely done here for SHIN. A little bit of a rough game here for Creator. Definitely a rough start for him after the cannon rush kind of fell on its face. But yeah, he held on as long as he could have. But at that point, it really felt like SHIN was not only ahead from the start, but he also very early on decided to capitalize on his advantage and just go for the throat. He knew that Creator was going to be at his weakest. If he allowed Creator to hang back and rebuild, then it wasn't going to be as... his army wasn't going to be as potent, or it wasn't going to be as easy of a fight, shall we put it that way, here for SHIN. So, yeah, GG, congratulations to SHIN.
Oh yeah. Congratulations, and we have a lobby, by the way, as we are going to be joining another.
Is that our lobby?
Yes, that is our lobby, as we are going to be joining in. Trying to figure out where we are in this.